What's going on, everybody? My name is Adonis D. Johnson. I am the creator of I Am My Lifecoach. How's the world doing? How you doing? I received a call today from Sister Sonia. You guys, we got to lift her up in prayer right now. I pray that she can get on this broadcast. She reached out to me and told me, you know what, Minister, I need a word. And only one that can bring a word to me is you. I know you guys looking for the rude awakening. And I think that every Saturday is the rude awakening. For the 7-day Adventists, they use this as the Sabbath day. Some say Saturday is the Sabbath. Some say Sunday is the Sabbath. I don't know what your Sabbath is, but I believe Sabbath is a place of rest. I believe that we can get into that place of rest. So I'm going to go ahead and send this one out to Sister Sonia and the Visible Crown Army. How can I lead something that can't lead me? Understand this and hear me good. We here for this war. Ask yourself, what am I doing right now, right? You're holding your position, but sometimes even in holding your position, you have to reevaluate your position right now, right? For many of you, my heart goes out to you because my heart is a part of the kingdom of God, right? That's the major part to this whole thing. So let me just jump on in. I only want to spend a couple of words to you guys. I want to give you some words of encouragement. I want to motivate you. Motivation and education goes together. Don't expect everybody to rock with you. Don't expect anybody to rock with you. Who knows what's behind you if you're looking in front of you? So I pray that each and every last one of you can receive what it is that I come to say today, right? For all those that's locking in, go Rachel, there go Felicia, there go Chris, those that know what I stand for, peace and blessings, right? All right, I want to address some worldly things. Let's have a worldly conversation. Keep in mind, keep Sister Sonia in prayer, you guys. She is not up to it, and she was going to jump right on and do the rude awakening today, and she reached out to me, and she said, Minister, I'm not feeling good. I'm thinking, okay, well, what, you want me to pray for you or something? You know, what you want me to do, sister? She said, I need to hear a word from you today on the rude awakening. So I got to step up to the call. I don't really have no scriptures in front of me, but I have some words that's in front of me, right? I only look to use what it is that you should have been using all the time. It seemed like been getting battled all week, right? All week I've been getting people challenging, right? Challenging what? Challenging something they lack. And what is that? That will be understanding. No matter what situation you in. What's up, teacher? Man, that's peace and blessings, you guys. And if you're seeing somebody saying teacher, that's because we understand that I am a self-help teacher. That's the vision. That's the mission. This is the goal, right? The goal. But I want to make sure, as I spoke the last time, that you understand the assignment. So let me jump right in. The world created something today, and it's called Sweetest Day. So everybody is running around. This is Sweetest Day, right? You looking for a sweetest? Let's be clear. Back in the day, I used to be like, oh man, this Sweetest Day. This is the time that somebody's going to be like, I just want to say happy Sweetest Day. I'm like, what is this, right? They don't celebrate Sweetest Day in any other country. They don't celebrate Sweetest Day in California and Arizona. I remember when I moved down to Arizona, right? I'm like, I don't celebrate Sweetest Day down here. I remember when I moved to California, they had no acknowledgement of what Sweetest Day is, right? I remember when I was in Florida, right? And they know nothing about Sweetest Day. Well, Sweetest Day supposed to be the day for the man, right? And what you do on Sweetest Day, supposedly, is the same thing you do on Valentine's Day. But Valentine's Day is supposed to be for the woman, and Sweetest Day is supposed to be for the man. And I'm just here to let you understand, in your preparation of calling whoever you call, whoever you reach out to, happy Sweetest Day. If you can remember this day and you want to go and acknowledge all the people that's sweet, then why don't you do this every day, right? Well, I want to crack some things open. I only want to use something that you need to use. And I only want to let you understand that some stuff we got to grow up from. Some stuff we got to develop from. Some stuff, the only way you will know where you stand at is take a look and see. Taste and see that where you stand now has to be different from where you was then. But if you keep role playing, if you keep jumping into these roles that you want to get in, and you keep acknowledging anyone, then it only shows you that the mind is not fully recovered, right? So I need you to understand that we're here to talk about three things, right? One of the things we're here to talk about is self-realization. The second thing we're here to talk about is self-discovery, and another thing that we will address is self-recovery. And one of the things I'm going to use to help me with this thing is I'm going to familiarize you with a scripture, right? Now, Potiphar, right? You guys know about Potiphar, but this is amazing because I'm going straight off the spirit. I don't really have the scriptures in front of me, but I'm going to find it for a certain part, but not for all part. Remember, Joseph the dreamer, right, was sent to Potiphar's house, right, as a slave, and he had to work for Potiphar in Potiphar's house. Isn't it amazing that you can get sent somewhere to be a slave, right, as a slave, so you can work underneath authority? So he never was over the house. He had to work underneath the house for some understanding. Well, I want to pause you and call a time out right here. Here's a rude awakening for you guys, especially my Bible scholars, right? When Joseph the dreamer, a wildling, right? Somebody from the field, somebody from south side of Chicago, somebody from Michigan, right? He was sent to a place. And when he got to this place, he was a slave. But he had to work in a house of authority, right? He had to work in a house of authority. All I wanted you to understand is to get here, you got to learn from somebody else. And for many of you, you are slave in the situation that you need to learn from, right? You need to learn how it works, when it works, why it works, and why you have to do it this way. For many of us, some of us, we believe that life is the best teacher. Life is not a teacher at all. Life is just life, but we sent to the Potiphar house so that we can learn how life should be and how life should work, right? That's why Joseph had a dream. He had a dream as a worker. He had a dream as someone in the field. He had a dream, right? His dream was in one place, but he believed in it. But the things he had to go through in order to fulfill this dream, right, almost would have made you realize, like, you know what, maybe this just won't happen. How you ever dated someone or someone dated you and you was in this relationship and you just like, I don't think this is it. I don't think he's the one, right? It's not a matter. It's not whether he's the one. It's a matter of what is it that you desire. You don't desire the man for some woman, you desire the relationship. For some men, you don't desire a woman, you desire a relationship. For many of us, we should have been focusing on a relationship, but unfortunately, we keep looking for a partner. We keep looking for anybody to try to see, do they have the missing key? Can they make this feeling ignite? Is this the one? God, is she the one? God, is this it? So Joseph get to the Potiphar house, but he's not over the house, he's under the house. And he's learning the rules of how it works. Still has his own dream. But guess what? You watching somebody else live their dream. How you ever came into somebody else's world as an invited guest, and when you in their world, it seems like they got the big house, they got the big pool, they got the nice car, they got the nice spouse, and you like, man, I just want this someday, right? That means it ignited your dream, right? It ignited what you desire, right? Sometimes you got to look at what somebody else have. Play your position until it's your time and it's your turn. So I'm talking about the Potiphar house, but where I want to flip this thing to let you understand is the Potiphar house is actually talking about your higher self. Your higher self and your lower self. Your lower self, it will be Joseph. And Joseph was dispatched as a slave, right? Some of you ran into another man's house or another man's arm or another woman's bed or whatever the case may be due to the fact that somebody else wronged you, that you trusted, brother, cousin, mother, whatever the situation is. It could even be a job. A job made you leave that job or they fired you. Whatever happened sent you in slavery on a mission with nothing but your bare backbones, right? Remember, when Jesus said you on a mission, don't take anything with you. Some of you carrying everything that done happened to you. And then when you get into this new situation, nobody interviewed you. Nobody asked you what you've been through and all this stuff, but you here to watch what's already going on. So watch what end up happening. The Potiphar house is your higher self. The lower self, which is your lower nature, that is the Joseph with the dream. Now, I want to pause this and I want to jump to something else just to let you see exactly what I'm saying. I am a self-help teacher, so you probably never heard it like this before, because it's about time you need to teach yourself. And who will be teaching you? That will be Jesus Christ. So when somebody else asks you, what did Jesus Christ teach you? First off, he taught me to hold my position. Second, he told me that I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So I ain't got all day to be sitting here trying to see if my gifts finna burst out. I come in ready because I practice. I don't have to get ready. I stay ready. Also, he taught me that to put on my visible crown represent the character and the attitude so that God, Jehovah Jireh, can be present now. That means I'm fully engaged, right? I got the shield on top of me. That's the breastplate. That's the armor of righteousness. That means I have learned from my mistakes. And I'm not here by mistake. I'm here by purpose. That means I'm here to serve, right? But some of us, we hear, we got to serve like Jesus Christ served, right? Guess what? You need to serve like you need to serve. And when you serve, you're serving from who you are, not who they are. Let's go. All right. And then we also understand the better truth. The better truth is just understanding I'm only responsible for what I say, not what you understand. I'm only responsible for what I say, but you can benefit from what I say, because if you pay a lot of attention to what I'm saying, it's the higher self in me that will be talking to you as well as the lower me. So I'm allowing Christ to just use me in this moment. If you can ground yourself long enough, you will see exactly where I'm going and what I'm doing. So watch this, you guys. I'm creating a platform. What platform am I building? I'm building a foundation for you to stand on today so you can get you something nice and healthy for you on this sweetest day, right? So watch this, you guys. The Potiphar house is higher self. Now remember, that was the Potiphar's son, right? And remember in another story, it jumps and it talks about the Potiphar's son who wanted his inheritance now. The one who wanted his inheritance now was the lower self. Being that that was the lower self, you decided to go out into the world. You want to date who you want to date. You want to marry who you want to marry. You want to see who you want to see. And all this experience transpired in your lower self, right? That will be the son, right? But upon being out here in a pig's pen, the Potiphar's son, who never had a name, he was just called son. Somehow he tapped into the thought of higher self. And higher self said, I'm bigger than this. Higher self said, you know what? Your father will provide you with any and everything you desire to have, right? The Potiphar's son, he's out working in an area he should not be working in, right? And he remembered his father. He remembered the father that provides him with everything he needs and that supplies all of his needs, right? And when he came to his senses, he said, I will return back. Now, that's lower self. I will return back to my father, which is higher self. So watch this, you guys. To return back is the sweetest day. You see, you're looking for a man, but the man you're looking for is in the physical realm. That's not it. You're looking for the man, and the man is in the physical realm that you want to say, happy sweetest day to. That's not it. The man you should have been looking for is the inner man that lies inside of you, especially if you consider yourself a female, a woman, a lady, whichever one of these little labels you wear. The man is only Christ. And if you can't tell him, hello, Christ, how you doing every day? You so sweet to me. You so loving to me. The things you provide me with, the insight you give me, it's just impeccable. The things you continue to allow me to experience, but also being able to teach myself and walk myself in situations and also walk myself out of situation. That sounds like the man I'm looking for. So for many of you, the only sweetest man that we should be looking for is Christ. So what did Christ do? What did the Potiphar's son do? What did Joseph the dreamer do? Joseph the dreamer held his position. He held his position, and holding your position means governing your eye gates, governing your thoughts, governing what you listen to, governing what comes out of your mouth, and you ain't just saying nothing just because everybody is saying something. And so for many of you, you got your work cut out. Why? Because the people around you, while they around here smiling, fake kicking it, fake happening, I got this new dress I'm putting on for Sweetest Day. Tonight it's going to be on. I rented out a room. I got a pool, and I'm about to sit here. I got some chocolates. I got some flowers, and I'm just going to do something nice. I wish somebody did something nice for me any day. But guess what? They wouldn't be doing it for the natural me. They will be doing it for the spirit in me, because I learned to submit to the higher authority, the higher power. So I ain't got to say, talk to the higher power almighty. The higher power almighty talks to me. See, a lot of us, I talk to God. And at the end of the day, when do you listen to what the Son has said to you? And some of you, you need to understand that at this point in time, we got to tear down. Remember, unlearn and then relearn. Let's unlearn what you used to do. And then when you realize why you did it, look at the one who did it. Look at the one who created. None of us created Sweetest Day. It is a hallmark day considered to be a pagan's holiday. That means they tell you what to celebrate, just like the internet tells you what to watch, how to feel, what to see, what to do. All these things is all man-made. So many of you, you're living in a man-made circumstances, right? The diseases that's out here, man-made. Your feelings that you claim you have, man-made. The cure for all the sickness that's going around, man-made, right? They man-made this and man-made that and man-made this, man-made. James Brown said, do you not know man-made the train to carry the heavy load? Man even made money. But there's a song by James Brown that said this is a man's world, right? A man's world. That means everything you make can be created and charged to man, right? He said, don't you know even man made money, right? Now, I know some of you going to say the man, well, what did the woman do? The woman is a nurturer, but she has the man in her. So what am I saying to you really on this Sweetest Day, right? As you calling it the Sweetest Day. The woman is the nurturer. So the reason why a lot of stuff ain't died down yet is because the woman keep nurturing stuff that was made by man and not made by God. Come on, y'all. You keep making up stuff. You keep making, this is what you supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is, where you going for Sweetest Day. The only thing that is sweet is the Lord and Savior that keeps saving you from the foolishness that you keep running yourself into. I don't know who taught you this stuff. Like I said, Sweetest Day doesn't exist in California. It don't exist in no other place. But the fact that it exists in your mind, that means you have an issue that you have to deal with. Everybody is not thinking what you thinking. Everybody don't feel what you feel. Everybody ain't going through what you going through. But whatever it is you going through, I'm willing to bet you that you are the one who created it. Now, I'm only here to help you get up out of that. Sister Sonia's online, as I said before. That is my friend. Words can't express enough the love that I have for that lady and the spirit that's inside of that lady. But when she said, can I do the rude awakening? Sure, right? Of course I can. I can do the rude awakening today, right? So I journeyed to something, and I told you about the three things I wanted to give you. The Potiphar house, higher self, right? Joseph had a dream, just like many of you, right? But that's lower self with a dream. So he had to go in slavery and be sent to the Potiphar house, which means it wasn't his house. He was under somebody else's house. And when he was under somebody else's house, he had to see how it works, right? You had to see how it works. See, some of you, you don't know how it works until you get around someone that already doing what it is you desire to do. So he see how marriage works. He see how women works. He see how a king works. He see how the house works, right? Now, for many of you, when you fast because you can see how it works, right? So let me show you something real quick, Felicia and anyone else, and I'll be short and brief with this. Think of it like this, you guys. There is a orchestra, right? If any of you, if I could use your mind I won't even take long, you guys. This will be 5 minutes and I'm done. I'm going to close on this one. There is an orchestra, right? And keep in mind, an orchestra consists of drums, horns, flutes, all type of different instruments. And there is an orchestra that sits here and he cue everyone in, right? Now watch this. If any one of you, just to say all of us that's on this broadcast, we on our way to an orchestra. When we get to the orchestra, we here to see an orchestra play. But you, whoever this is that's listening to me, you are so infatuated with the drummer and the drums, right? I mean, you like, man, them drums. I just love drums. I just love drums, right? And everybody sitting here and they focusing on the orchestra. But you love the drums. So once the orchestra is over, right? Let's bust it down. Let's go deeper. Can I go deeper, you guys? I got Diamond online. Come on, y'all. Don't leave me yet. Don't leave me yet, because I'm going to give you a message. And with this message, all that matters is that you heard something amazing. It will birth something in due time. There's a process to what I'm giving you right now. But if we can stop and just give me 5 more minutes, I can assure you I'm going to do some work behind the scenes, and it will birth something down the line. You ain't got to credit me. Credit the one who rightfully deserves the credit, right? So watch this, you guys. Let's go deeper. Can I go deeper? Somebody told me to go deeper. Anybody telling me to go deeper, I go deeper. If you want me to get off the feed, I get off the feed. I'm be honest with you. You got 3 ways you can accept this. You can either accept what I'm saying and use it later on down the line. You can reject what I'm saying and say middle finger up to him. That's fine. Or you can neglect what I'm saying. And at that point, that means you're going to listen, but you're not going to apply. And for many of you, I need you to apply what I'm saying. This cannot be by accident or chance. This is by purpose, and it is by design. Every last one of us can find one thing in our life right now that we want to change. And we also can find one mistake right now that we done made and we still ain't forgave ourselves for. We can find one solution or one thing we need in order to turn this all the way around. Well, let me give you that one thing. I just told you guys, we are all at an orchestra, and every last one of you are so infatuated with the drums. You so infatuated with the drums, right? But we here to see an orchestra play, right? All the other instruments is playing, but what got your attention? The drums. In your life, what's going on in your life? Some of you, I don't have a sweetest day today, right? You over here crying because you ain't got a sweetest day today, right? So guess what you focusing on? What you don't have, a sweetest day. Guess what you focusing on? In my case, I was, but not today. Focusing on, I don't have no money. What am I called? Some of you that owns your own business, what you focusing on? I don't have no customer. Whatever you focusing on, right? You missing the orchestra, the whole orchestra, right? That's everybody, all the instruments. So he says, when the orchestra is over, how did you like the orchestra? You said, well, them drums was just amazing. Them drums, oh my God, I love drums, right? He said, well, I see you love drums, but you missed the orchestra. Because you were so focused on what you like, you missed everything else. Well, I ain't gonna say that flew over your head, because I don't know. But I'll tell you this, let's go deeper and I'll make it stick. For many of you, you find the one thing in your life and you say, you know what? I'm going on a fast. I'm going on a fast for God, right? I'm going on a fast for God. Well, what is you fasting? I'm fasting sex. I'm not having sex with no one. I'm fasting, seeking out God, right? Uh-oh, somebody said go deeper. Yeah. Let's wake it up then. Come on, y'all. Let's wake it up real quick. Somebody said, let's go deeper. Let's go deeper then. I'll go deeper. Here it come right here. Watch this. Many of you that's focusing on the things that's not politically correct, not aligned up in your life, that's not providing you pleasure, that's not giving you anything, right? You are focusing on that one thing. And when it's time for you to seek out God, the first thing you do is say, I'm going on a fast. Why are you going on a fast? Because you want to hear God, because that one thing that you doing, you think it's taking you away from something. Remember the orchestra? Remember you only attached to the drummer because you love the drums, or you focusing on pain in your personal life. You focusing on pain, or you focusing on what you desire. If you're a man, you want a significant other. If you're a woman, you want a man. You only focusing on what you don't have. And you missing out on everything else. So when the orchestra is over, what does they say? They say, how did you enjoy the show? You said, I just love drums, so the drums was amazing. He said, but what about the flute? What about the trumpets? What about the bells? What about the person that was on the timbre, the kabungos? What about the person that was on the violin? What about the person that was playing the other instruments? Well, I just love the drums. Let's get to your life. When you fast, you only want to fast food, alcohol, sex, social media, radio, anything else. I'm not spending no money. And you're fast, not spending no money. And guess what? Now you done took all that out the way. Let's move that. Right? Now let's go back to the orchestra the second time. God said, okay, you ready to see the orchestra? Sure, let's see the orchestra. Right? Guess what you did? But I want to see the orchestra, but this time, take away the drums. Right? So you take away the drums. No drums. And now you take away the drums so you can focus in on what? On the orchestra. You take away sex. You take away alcohol. I ain't smoked no weed in 30 days, right? In 7 days. I ain't had no alcohol all month. I ain't had no wee-wee, or I ain't had no coochie, right? In 30 days, right? So you feel great because you took away something out of your life just so you could try to focus on everything else, which will be the whole orchestra. Now the orchestra is over. And he says to you, how do you feel about the other music in the other orchestra? You said, oh man, I really love the orchestra. It's beautiful, right? He said, you failed this assignment. How can you enjoy the orchestra when you just took out the drums? There's no orchestra without the drums. You see, for many of us, we missing all of life because we focusing on one thing, and that one thing make us abort all the other things. See, there's many other qualities in life that God has granted you with. Some of you can sing. Some of you can write. Some of you can dress. Some of you can go outside and go for a walk in the park. Some of you can ride your bike. Some of you can do so many other things, but yet you're around here upset because somebody done ticked you off, pissed you off. Your children done messed you up. You sit here, you can't be you because you're too busy thinking about them. They ain't done this. They ain't cleaned their room up. They ain't sitting here working. They just sitting around here all day. You got all of your attention on one thing in life, right? And you miss the orchestra. You miss it because your attention is on one thing. So he says, when you have the orchestra and you took out, remember at the beginning, the first time, you seen the orchestra, but you only wanted to hear the drums because you just a drum lover. Some of you just some Casamigo lover. Some of you just some wet, sloppy lover, right? You love getting some wet and sloppy, and you love, some of you love giving some wet and sloppy. But at the end of the day, there's many more things that makes up a relationship. How about conversation? Can we talk about some stuff, right? How about business? Can we talk about how we can get some money, make some money? How this thing works? How about, can we talk about God? Let's talk about scripture. Let's talk about prayers, right? Let's talk about how can we enhance our spiritual walk, right? How about we talk about morals, right? Like morals, like how does that make you better? How can that work for me? Can you teach me this? Can you show me this, right? We don't explore nothing else because we only focusing on the drums. And we miss out on the whole symphony, the whole orchestra. You see, there is no invisible crown without Isha, without Nicole, without Tamiko, without Felicia, without Jackie. There's many names I can name that I know for a fact that be on this broadcast that got the notifications on. We share. Why? Because when you share this broadcast, you sharing with the ones that connects to you. You're not sharing with the ones that connect to me. You see, I connect to you. You share with others because they connect to you. But unfortunately, the ones that connects to you don't have a great connection because what is that connection built on? They not understand it. Some of you read like myself. Let's go back to me. I read in the morning. I read in the afternoon. I read at night. And I'm not talking the Bible. I read at least 4 books a month. At least. And some of them I read over and over and over and over and over again, right? I don't go around listening to drug music and trap music all day, right? But guess what? That's what I do. So those that are able to connect to me, this is what you get from connecting to me. The question is, what do people get by connecting to you? So to sum this thing up, I told you, Joseph had a dream. He was a dreamer, like me and you. That's lower self. But through slavery, right? Slavery, that means he was doing the same thing over and over and over again. So God put him under a house. Some of you, your house is the church. So the house, you might go to the house, but notice the church that he put you under is either a house of worship, it's either a house of prayer, it's either a house of fellowship, but it's not one thing in that house that can give you God. You actually came in with your own dreams. So you under a house to see how it works, right? Now, under means lower self. Potiphar, which is the Potiphar house, that means your higher self. So now you got to look at how it works so you can know what you're going to do later on down the line. Move on over. Potiphar's son. That's what it's called. Potiphar's son, lower self, wanted his inheritance. You know what? I don't need you. Give me what's mine and I'm gone. Peace. Because I cannot control you. You have free will. Each and every last one of you. You have a free will. I am a self-help teacher. I wrote a self-help book. And the purpose of this book is so it can assist you with grounding yourself so you can manifest you and never have to question you again. Right? So listen to this. The Potiphar left and he was working. And it just wasn't working because he never had a good example. So he ends up amongst pigs. Pigs mean people that would do anything for a little money. People that would do anything strange for a little change. Anybody that would sleep with anybody for nothing, right? Some of you would lay down for somebody saying, I love you, and damn, let's go make love. How can you make love? You cannot make love. But your old ignorance got you believing you can actually make love. You can't make love. You got to experience love. And what does that come from? It doesn't come from them. It actually comes from you. And many of you was created in love. Many of you done went through hell and hot water just to find out that, man, love is an amazing thing. I will never let myself go again. I will never sit here and do things without using my head. And you are scared and you are just like the Potiphar son sitting around here with people around you celebrating a sweetest day, walking around here with these little balloons and flowers as if that means anything. But you ain't never bought Jesus Christ a card. You ain't never bought Jesus Christ a balloon. You ain't never screwed Jesus Christ. You might screwed him over like, look, I hear you, but nigga, middle finger to you, right? Because you did what you wanted to do. But yet you believe you love Jesus Christ. And even in scripture, it says, how can you say you love somebody you never seen, but you sit here and go round for round, pound for pound, trying to tell your brother and your sister down, and I don't love them. That ain't real love. No, what you have is not real love. What you have is not real love. Because for whatever you trying to think that real love is, you trying to look at it on somebody else because you never can see it on yourself. Ain't that something? So the Potiphar son says, you know what? I'm going to start listening to my higher self. And he started walking back to get back into alignment so he could start listening to higher self saying, you know what? Why am I tripping on sweetest day? Because I've been routinely conditioned. If you probably over 40 years old, you done celebrated sweetest day under the Worldly Act probably about If you're 40, you done probably celebrated this at least 24 years. If you are over 50, then you done celebrated Sweetest Day probably 24 years, 54 years, 34 years. If you are in your 60s, you have celebrated Sweetest Day 44 years. And what am I saying? I'm saying you celebrating a day in your head. You done had multiple Sweetest Day guys and they ain't even in your life no more. And you still want to carry on with the witchcraft. I'm sorry, you don't like the word. You still want to carry on with the tradition. This is my tradition. This is, I just don't want to be by myself today. This is Sweetest Day, right? The tradition. You tell me who's over here practicing sorcery. You tell me, how did one day throw your butt right back into the last 24 years? Some of you keep repeating the same habit because you created Sweetest Day 16 when you was 16. And there is feelings and emotions attached to something. When you was 14, when you was 13, they let you come to school and pass out Sweetest Day little candy hearts, and they planted the poison, which will be considered brainwashing programming. And they're going to let this program run, and you 20 and you 30 and you 40 and you 50 and you 60 and you still talking about, I just love just the feeling. I mean, it's for the man, but since I don't got no man, but wait till Valentine's Day come. Lord have mercy. Valentine's Day can be today. And you will have a mental breakdown because in your mind, you done created all this thing and it's attached to failure. If you have somebody, you happy. You ready to perform. You ready to twerk it out. You ready to work it out. You got some fishnet. No, sorry, not no fishnecks now. Come on now. Y'all don't even wear them fishnecks no more now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Little fishneck. Ooh, black pantyhose. Don't play with me. This is the rude awakening, you guys. Sister Sonia, y'all keep her up in prayer. She asked me to come bring that truth. So this is the reality check. But this also is a rude awakening. Why do I give it to you like this? Because there's no other way to give it to you. So I'm finna close it out. I know I said 5 minutes. I want it to be great and I want it to be good over the time. If you gotta go, I appreciate that. If you don't, stay a minute. So now you got the fishneck, the black pantyhose, you got the the heels on now. You want to perform, right? On Halloween coming up. There's costume parties, right? All type of Halloween costumes. What you gonna do? You gonna create an image. Some of you gonna be Superman, Wonder Woman. Some of you gonna be Power Rangers, right? You gonna put on a costume that lasts one day. And you might win the contest. They might pay you for looking like the biggest fool. You might be looking like the biggest clown. But guess what? You did a good job. You nailed that, right? It don't owe you. Halloween don't owe you nothing, right? For some of you, you going to twerk it up. You going to wet it up. You going to slob it up. You going to do whatever you going to do. And Sweetest Day this year, it don't owe you nothing, right? How can you go eat at a restaurant, right? And you eat, and the food is good. You eat shrimp and grits, you eat whatever. And then when you leave, after having you a lemon drop or after having you a glass of champagne, right? Champagne, right? That you leave and say, you know what? The Crab Shack don't owe me nothing. Well, how do you get in a relationship or with somebody or a friendship and possibly believe a man owed you something? A man don't owe you nothing. A man don't owe you nothing, and a woman don't owe. Why you ain't saying it then? Because see, some people don't respect the fact that people are in your life on a volatile base. You will be a little more nicer to those that even conversate with you, not alone listen to you, because you should be respecting the moment. You should be respecting the time. You should be respecting the relationship that was created at this present time. And guess who's supposed to be in that? Christ. So technically, Christ is the only sweetest man I ever know. It's the sweetest name. The sweetest name. But nah, let me go find my sweetest man. That's what you get. You listen to this, y'all. You don't get a sweetest man. You don't get a sweetest woman. You get a sweetest day. So at the end of the day, who are we talking about? Are we talking about all the ones that came, or are we talking about just this day? Right? So how did your feelings and emotion get attached to an act? How did it get attached to an act? Right? It don't owe you nothing. But guess what? The Potiphar that was out there laboring around the pigs, around the people that thought the way they thought. He came. Not all these other people. He came to his senses, Diamond. And guess what, Diamond? I love the name Diamond. Me and Diamond got some high school history, right? I'm always going to be grateful. She actually could have pressed charges and had me in jail, right? But I ain't going to tell that story, Diamond. Not today. Maybe another time. But she showed up with her mama at that jail cell. I'm locked up for playing games with her in school, playing around. But we didn't know no better. We was classmates, right? And I'm in jail because I'm horse playing with her, right? And she didn't even press charges. Ain't that something, y'all? Thank you, Diamond. That could be on my record right now. Reckless, right? She could be in a hospital right now because of me. She could be bald-headed because of me. She could be done died because of me. And I could be serving a life sentence for all the stupidness that I was doing. It don't mean that I was stupid. It just means I was ignorant and I should have known better. I was playing with fire. And many of you keep playing with yourself and you keep messing up everything around you. That's why I can't follow none of you, because you too reckless for me. I can't follow nobody that can't hold on to their position, that can't govern their own self now. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I work too hard to make my life amazing. So when I talk to you, guess what I'm giving you? Something amazing. Now, you taking the time out to listen to me, you end up becoming amazing too. But the ones you share this with, please share this feed. The ones you share this with, it's up to them if they're going to be amazing because of you. But if they don't, then you got your work cut out, because you got nothing but haters, naysayers. You got all these people around you wondering why you acting funny, wondering why you just don't go back and forth with them no more, wondering what's up with you. You must got you a little wee-wee or something last night. You need some. No, I don't need none. I don't need none. I'm good. Because every day is a new day. So if you understand that every day is a new day, then guess what? Let's close it out now. The orchestra, the first day you go to an orchestra, you got all these instruments, right? But you only focusing on one, the drums. The second day you go to the orchestra, because God said, you missed the orchestra. You was only focusing on this. So you take the orchestra out. The second day you go to the orchestra, you sit here looking at the orchestra and you're like, wow, I never know that the flute sounds so beautiful. I used to play the clarinet back in high school. I used to be a marching band. I was what's some little majorette, right? I was out there dancing in cheerleading. I was the pom-pom girl. I used to be up there flagging them down, and they used to do them little things, and they come through and the flute, right? And they dance, and it used to be the battles of the band, and now you see the whole orchestra. And then Jesus says, you know what, Diamond? You missed the orchestra. You say, well, Jesus, how did I miss the orchestra? I wasn't focusing on the drums. I told them to move the drums out the way. He said the orchestra, ain't no orchestra without the drums. So now you go on the third day and all the instruments is there. And now that you're focused, you're hearing all the instruments and you like, man, this is a symphony. And I appreciate everything that I'm hearing. And I love the way they work together. Let's bring it in the natural realm as we make our way to the finish line. When it comes down to your life, I don't care who you fast. Some of you fast people. Some of you fast alcohol. Some of you, I'm fasting. You'll be like, what are you fasting, right? And you'll be like, well, the Bible says you don't supposed to tell nobody. Watch this, you guys. I'm fat. Only thing you gonna fast is what you feel like you got a problem with. I'm fasting the casino boat. Why? Because you got a problem with gambling. I'm fasting alcohol. Why? Because you like champagne. You like Hennessy. You like Reposado. You like all this. So you gonna fast what you got a problem. What you fasting? I'm fasting money. Why? Because I spent too much what? Last month, right? I'm fasting shopping. I just got too much clothes, right? No, you got a problem and you only identified with the problem. So what you do? You fast shopping. I can't shop nothing. I'm on a fast, right? You only fasting what you have a problem with, and then you thinking, I'm trying to seek out God. I'm going to get rid of what I've been focusing on so I can see him and hear him clearly. Do you hear him? Do you hear God? Mm-mm. But I do hear that chicken calling me. I do hear that food. I do hear shrimp and grits. I do hear a crab boil, right? But you fasting that. I can't go, y'all. I'm on a fast, but my fast is over in 24 hours. At 6 o'clock, my fast is over, right? Guess what? Here's the rude awakening. Long as you take something out of life, you still missing life. Some of you, the more to this story, you might still don't get it. I wrote a book, I Am My Lifecoach, right? I'm a self-help teacher, right? I changed my position. You got to change yours. A relationship consists of many things. It doesn't just consist of going out. It doesn't consist of just spending money. It doesn't consist of just talking about God. It doesn't consist of just going to church. That's why you only go to church one day a week. Life consists of so much more. But you don't have balance over the so much more. Because you only focus on not the more. You want more life. You miss life. Because you're only focusing on this part of life, what you don't have. Some of you, I don't have a man. I don't have a husband. Well, are you a wife? I'm not a wife because I don't have a husband. You're missing it. A lot of us, we missing it. Life consists of many things. Communication, right? There's a book called The 5 Love Languages, right? One is gifts. One is time. One is acts of services. One is words of affirmation. And the other one is touch, right? And the book orchestrates you and teaches you which one is your primary. And just like a lot of us, we go find the one that says gifts. That's gifts. So you just picked your love language. So not only do you like gifts, but you're supposed to be giving gifts. But what if I told you your gifts is your ability that God has given you? That's a gift. But some of you think gifts is some David Yurman or a nice watch or some red bottoms because I bought you something for your birthday. I know you're going to, look, if you're going to buy me a pair of shoes so I can buy your ass a pair of shoes, then we got a problem, okay? Because that's ignorance. Right there. That's ignorant right there. That's sin. Sin is ignorant, right? You do something for me and I'm going to do the same thing. That's like being in the birthday club. You going to keep putting money in and then when your money come around, this is like a bank, right? With no interest. I put in, it's 12 of us. So every month we put $100 in. Whoever birthday is, they get $1,200. But then now, when it's your time, how you know I got that $100? Now that $100, that $1,200 only come one time a year. But what if I told you every month you got to give $100, right? And put it into a pot. Some of you, this is the games we play. It's just so ignorant. Right? Because that $100 could have worked way more numbers, right? Then the next month you got to put something else in. Then whoever birthday is, they get the money, right? This ain't nothing but a pyramid scheme. Just so you can be happy when somebody put $1,200 in your pocket because you ain't worked for it. I can tell you how to make $1,200 a day. I can tell you how to get it in right now. But why would I do that? Because you only focusing on one thing. There's so many things to life. For many of you, relationship is your key piece. It ain't what you know, it's who you know. And when you find out who you know, you better not waste no time with them because you better realize what they know. And when you find out what they know, respect what they know. Because when they find out that you got a relationship with you and you understand you don't know what they know, Chicago mentality is the only place I have seen at this point that will cuss out somebody else. And they don't care about their status quo. They don't care that they got a PhD. Don't give a F about the motherfucking PhD. Shit, you could be living in their house, right? I don't care about who motherfucking, you ain't gonna be disrespecting me, talking to me like I ain't no damn child, right? This is the only place I have seen, especially the black culture, that you will cuss your spouse out. Well, you ain't my husband, and I wouldn't be your husband. Because if you gonna act like this, you would never be a wife. Because your attitude only reflects who you are. Well, when I get a husband, let him decide that. Sweetheart, you will never have one. I'm telling you that now. Because you just snapping off at the wrist for nothing, right? Your job is to understand the assignment. Me coming on this broadcast, I'm understanding the assignment. Be quickly, be quietly, get in, get out. The only reason why I'm doing this is not only did my sister, Sonia Campbell, who we are praying for right now, she's on this broadcast, I believe, and I want to say a prayer at the end, which I'm ending now, is that she asked me if I can come on because she is not up to her full self to even do a rude awakening. And I said, you know what? I'll jump in and I'll give them something. So my point is that I'm not signing up to be obligated to be in front of people. And I realize I have to be good over my time. I have to be good over my space. I have to be good over what it is I learn. And I got to be good to make sure I stay on point. Some of you, I might think that you guys can be my friends or I can be your friend because I come to give to give. But I promise you, I'm not really sure if you're my friend. Because if you're my friend, then you should be supporting me. You should be embracing me. You should be empowering me. You should be sharing my broadcasts. You should be in alignment because you see that I'm in a line. If you see I'm in a line, then all you got to do is get in line. But for some of you, I'm telling you like it is. If you see good in me, then all you got to do is reflect that. And take what I'm saying and turn to the people that's connected to you. When you put a share out, look at how many people connects to you and see if they respond or not. If they don't respond, then they don't give a flying F what done been placed inside of you. I think I closed up every door. Third day of the symphony, you came back to the symphony and he said, hey, the second day you didn't hear the drums, but you heard everything else. And he said you didn't hear the symphony. But then the third day he put the drums back in and you heard everything. And it was melodies from heaven, right? Because he rained down on me. Potiphar's son, he realized that, you know what? I'm around the wrong people trying to do the right thing. How many times have you been around the wrong people trying to do the right thing? Wrong people, right thing. See, and it never works. You will have yourself, Alicia, questioning yourself like, people like, why they keep coming at me? Why they keep saying I'm doing this? Because your ears are open, your eyes is open, and you hearing what they say, but they not hearing why they accusing you. How can they accuse you of anything when you don't owe them anything? I don't owe anybody my soul. I don't owe you my soul. I don't owe you my mind. I don't owe you my heart. I don't owe you my emotions. I don't owe you my feelings. I don't owe you anything. But what I will give you is respect. But I can't give respect until I first respect the fact that I did this damn hard work over here. And now I'm asking you to do the same hard work that I did. Sweetest day is only for the one that's inside of you. That's called Jesus Christ. He is the highest self. That is the sweetest name. And he should be honored every day. The only thing sweet about him, there's nothing sweeter than Jesus Christ. And if you don't have Jesus Christ in you, then I can't even fuck with you. That's just how it works. I can't even connect with you because it will never be a connection. All it'll be is a debate and an argument. And why should I put my Jesus back on the cross and let you kill the Jesus in me to sit here and get down off this Christ cross and whip your ass? Okay? No, I'm not even finna go through that. So I'm going to do what he told me to do. And I'm going to take myself and turn the other cheek. But before I turn, is there anything else you need from me? Do you want to call me out my name again? Do you want to tell me I ain't on nothing? Do you want to sit here and rip me down? Do you want to remind me of what you did for me 20 years ago? I said thank you 20 years ago. I don't owe you anything, right? So now that we understand that, I don't want to put my Jesus up on the cross because then you're going to try to then I got to get off that cross and then it's going to be on and popping. And then that's only 2 clowns that makes up a circus. I don't have a problem with a clown because I don't really like clowns, right? I don't like clowns. But you know the people I got a problem with? I got a problem with people who says they not a clown. I ain't no clown. But why do you like watching them? Why do you go to a circus to watch clowns? I think the clown at least knows his job or her job. But the ones that's sitting in the audience watching tame animals that they done trained them to do this, train them to put on this song and you do that, train them to say sweetest day and you feel bad, train them to put this on and you feel like going to eat some oxtails and some whatever. Oxtails is expensive. I'm gonna be honest with you now. You rich if you got oxtails right now. And where's the rest of the ox at? Why do you only get the oxtail? They ain't no ox breast, they ain't no ox head, they ain't no ox legs, but there's an oxtail and that joker is expensive. They put something up and said there's a shortage, there's some crabs missing in the ocean. Who studied and counted the crabs that's missing in the ocean? That's my time. Listen, I hope y'all got the message. Let me go ahead and give us a prayer for today, you guys. It's a big spirit in the air right now. Everybody's happy. Happy feelings. Happy feelings in the air. I told you guys to say I'm woke the last time we had the Mighty Monday meltdown, right? Stay woke. People's creeping. Don't let them find you. Find you what? Find you sleeping. Because when they find you sleeping, it is on. They're going to take everything. Somebody today said I don't care. And guess what? I said, I strike that down in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. They said, you can't be striking nothing down. I said, listen, when you say you don't care, the devil get that permission and he tears down everything that you built up. And by the time you look up tomorrow and you wonder why you going through hell, you done forgot that you said you didn't care. Your job is to care about everything that connects to you. And today I care about you because some of you connect to me. Don't you be sitting here telling me I am my life coach and I'm sitting here, you out here walking around with that hoodie on. I'm going to snatch that hoodie back up off your butt. You out here playing games with people. We don't mislead people because we no longer want to mislead ourselves. So Father God, we come to you because you have came to us. We ignite our mind, our body, and our soul. Our will is to do thy will here on earth as it is in heaven. Lead us not into temptation, God, but you got to know something. The mind we've been given was not our mind. And I know you said take off the old and put on the new. You also said you can't put new oil in old skin. Well, God, I don't know who been these teachers that been putting this stuff in our head, but somehow, some way, these curses, I choose to believe is the generational curse. But today, if we listen, deliverance come from hearing. Hearing is the word of the Lord. We believe you talking right now. I know many of us, we want the Bible. The Bible said, no. This is the living word right now. And the word is alive. Jesus is not dead. He has risen. And he has risen in every last one of our situations right now. So right now, we're not thinking on a lower level. We're thinking with the mind of Christ. So we tear down every stronghold. We tear down every costume. We tear down every holiday, everything that does not go with who we trying to be. We got a dream inside of us, and that dream will not be aborted because we done messed it up looking for a one night sweetest day or a Valentine's Day or any other day that ain't got nothing to do with today, because today is the day that the Lord has made, and my only assignment was to be glad. Come on, y'all. Be glad and rejoice and rejoice and rejoice and rejoice and rejoice and keep rejoicing. Why? Because I no longer walk in darkness. I no longer follow the blind. I no longer sit here and rest around the dead. I have came alive. I have risen, and I have risen because the Christ in me has risen, and he supersedes any and everything, and I follow what he tell me to follow. And if anybody don't follow me, then I don't care. I'm too busy following the voice of instruction. So thank you, God, that you provided for us. Thank you that you delivered for us. Thank you that you convicted us, but you also correct us. Thank you, God, that you're allowing us to hear the symphony play, the orchestra play, and we are grateful for every person that plays every instrument. Come on now. But if somebody is out of sync, God, I ask you that they will tone it down. If somebody is going a little bit too much so they can be heard, I ask them, you God, that you will release some of that power that they got, because they not in tune right now with where we at right now. This is in harmony right now. Everything should be in harmony. Our finances should be in harmony. Come on now. Y'all better tell your finances to get in harmony, get in the line right now. Our health, come on now, call down the health. Health need to be in line. My finances need to be in line. My friends, they better know if they don't fit the description, they ain't friends no more. So at the end of the day, but the name and the title is there, but their body is not there. I can't call them friend because they ain't moving like one. But I understand the assignment now. Family right now, come on now, I'll call you into alignment. But if you ain't moving like a family, moving to the beat, then I'm looking for the new family. Ain't nothing like replacing some old things. This is musical chairs I'm doing right now. People want to know who at your table. People trying to sit at a table. People want to know who going to sit at your table. Well, guess what? You got up out that seat. That chair is gone now. Come on, y'all. The music stopped. The seat is gone. If you ain't sitting down, then don't, hey, you please report to somewhere else. But get away from me. At this point, come on, y'all. Call something else into alignment right now. Call your new job into alignment right now. Call your new members into alignment right now. Call your new clients into alignment right now. Call your entrepreneurs, come on y'all, into alignment right now. Somebody got to understand this assignment. I understand the assignment right now. We ain't talking about the vision. We ain't talking about the mission. We ain't talking about the goal. We ain't talking about the strategy. We ain't talking about the action plan. We talking about the assignment. The assignment is what you gonna do. You ain't getting married till you figure out what you gonna do right now. At the end of the day, stop trying to go hunt and catch something. Stop trying to tie your panties to a string and draw something in. That's you're fishing with the wrong bait. You ain't gonna catch nothing but a cold. You ain't gonna catch nothing but a disease. You ain't gonna catch nothing but a hard time for a hard night, for a hard season. But at the end of the day, let's snap that cord. Let's release that right there. Just stop tying money up on a string now and being led now because you think somebody got some money. God, release the ropes right now. Break the ropes right now. Come on now. They said, God, you said you can let the net down and catch the fish right now. The cage, it even snares the bird. They don't know when they're going to get caught, but today, this feed caught their attention today. You got them now, God. You got them. I brought them to you. It's on you now, Lord. Do what they need you to do in order for their tomorrows to be better than their yesterday. We don't want to go backwards, or we only looking for forward. And when we go forward, that's all that matters, is that we moving. It don't matter how fast we move, as long as we moving. But we cannot keep repeating this foolishness right now. We riding in circles. This is some of our 35th, 45th, 44th sweetest day, 48th, 47th sweetest day. And at the end of the day, this is our 47th. At this point, some point, we need to just be married, God. We just need to be married, so we ain't got to worry about these little foolish days. And this is in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. I am my life coach. Y'all already know. Peace and blessings. Ignorance lose today. Knowledge wins. And it's understanding. You can't renounce nothing. You don't need to renounce it. You just need a better understanding. And that's why you needed a self-help teacher. And that's what Christ came to do. He came to help you, teach you, so that you can be in a better place on another day. Peace and blessings. You already know. Share the feed. Thank you.